Hey guys, I'm Alistair from Trail and Kale, and I've just got back from my first run on the On Cloudvista trail running shoes. That's the latest trail running shoes. And this is really my first impressions, thoughts on the shoe. It's kind of an initial review. There is an in-depth review coming to trailandkale.com very soon, so definitely check out the links in the description. I'm going to update that as soon as the video is ready. But I just got back and thought you should know my thoughts as they happen real time. So here they are. Enjoy. Today I'm trail testing the On Cloudvista. That's the shoes here. So these are On Running's latest trail running shoes. And they kind of sit between the Cloud Venture Peak and the Cloud Ultra. They're kind of a mid-level shoe. They're lighter than the Cloud Ultra, I believe, but a bit heavier than the Cloud Venture Peak. I really like them so far. I have done about a 4-kilometer climb so far. That's how my local run starts. And it's one heck of a climb. And I'm out of breath just thinking about it, but it's an awesome test for these shoes because it tells me how they climb. And they do climb really well. The lugs on them here really do grip into the terrain. So that's really nice. They're lightweight as well, so you don't feel like you're carrying a lot of extra weight up the hill with you. They seem pretty breathable. I'm not 100% sure about the upper at the moment. That's this kind of mesh fabric here. It doesn't really hug your feet, so to speak. This kind of feels quite roomy in there. That kind of helps with airflow around your feet. But I'm not sure how it feels on longer runs. I'm going to have to test them out, but it does feel more airy and just not sure. It's not a bad feeling. It's just very different. So I'll report back on that very soon. Other than that, yeah, generally really comfortable. They're kind of mid-level cushioning in them. They're not super minimal and they're not cushioned. They're definitely not really cushioned, so kind of a mid-level in terms of cushioning and support. The arch and sizing is very consistent with On Running's other shoes, so if you're familiar with On Running, go with your similar size. Like I said, the upper mesh does make it feel a little bit more roomy, but I think that's in the design, and I wouldn't suggest sizing up or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to test them out on some flats and some downhills, and I'll report back to you very soon. Okay, so before I talk a little bit more about the downhills and the flats with running in the Cloudvista, just want to quickly say, this is a first look running shoe review. If you're familiar with my videos on YouTube or trailandkale.com, then you'll know I like to go out and test a shoe the moment I get it, because that first shoe trail run or first trial test review is really when you notice, really notice what the shoe's like. It makes the biggest impact on those first runs, so I like to give my first impressions that way, and then I go back and run in the shoes a bit more and do a full in-depth review on trailandkale.com. So if you're watching this video now, it's very likely there's an in-depth review on trailandkale.com, so I'll pop a link up there now. Another note on running shoes. I've reviewed all the On Running shoes for years now, so they're all on trailandkale.com. Definitely go check out the website. I'll pop a link up here, and this is a really good post that shows all the On Running shoes ranked and reviewed. So it's all in a list order depending on the sport that you are interested in, whether it's hiking, running, or lifestyle. So yeah, definitely go check that out too. Okay then, so running on the flats in the On Cloudvista is a really good experience. It's a really nice lightweight shoe. There's not much getting in the way of you actually drawing speed from the shoes. So there's not tons of cushioning, nothing too fancy going on, and there's good kind of energy return in the foot plate, so kind of very springy. And you've got the CloudTech pods here in the midsole. That's what On is so famous for developing. So yeah, on the flats, these shoes are really quick, and I feel good running in them. Coming onto the downhills, the grip is really impressive actually. That's these lugs here, and it's got this little gully here. It's not very deep at all, so I haven't had anything get caught in there yet. And I'm running on mainly dusty hard pack trails, so this is a really good summer running shoe. On the really steep downhills, I do feel a little bit of slip inside the shoe, and that probably goes back to the upper design. This interesting ripstop material that's kind of one piece. It doesn't really hug your feet. Instead, it kind of just encapsulates your foot, but there's no real shaping around your foot there, so there is a little bit of movement. Which has its pros and cons. There's some wiggle room for your toes. Air does circulate around there as well, so that's quite nice. But there is a bit of slippage, and I kind of like the shoe to be hugging my forefoot a little bit better in the toe box, so that there isn't so much slippage towards the front of the shoe as you're ploughing down hills really quickly. Like I said, I don't experience that on the flats. It's just a really steep stuff. So I'm going down this single track now. Sometimes I got to brake really quickly for roots that I didn't see initially, or rocks, stuff like that. So that's when your feet slip, but you know what? The actual shoe doesn't slip on the ground. The grip is pretty awesome, so great job there. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed my first impressions, my first look at the On Cloudvista. This is On Running's brand new trail running shoe. I really like them so far, but as I said, go check out my in-depth review on trailandkale.com to find out more thoughts as I run the shoe even more. Thanks for watching. See you next time.